Hey y'all, it's Amber. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Whether you're a first time visitor, returning viewer, subscriber, welcome. I'm happy to have you. Welcome to today's video. So I am going to be talking about the 10 books that I would like to read before the end of 2025. Whether I will actually get to read all of these books or not is to be determined. It's a very busy time. The holidays are going to be very busy. It's my son's first Christmas, first Thanksgiving, and just all of the things. So I definitely want to balance being present with my family, creating new memories. But your girl loves to read and it keeps me sane. So I definitely want to prioritize this as well. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do so. Make sure you turn on notifications so you can be aware and updated every single time I make a post or an upload. And with that being said, let's get into it. So I am going to try not to do too much talking because I am going to be batch filming today. I mean, longer videos just typically don't tend to do well. So we're going to keep it nice, short, sweet, and to the point. The first book that I would like to prioritize reading before the end of 2025 is Razor Blade Tears by S.A. Cosby. I've been wanting to read S.A. Cosby for quite a while. I have maybe 3 or 4 of his books if I'm not mistaken. I would love to read all of them. However, there's another one. If I don't get to Razor Blade Tears, then I would definitely prioritize that, King of Ashes. Either way, I need to read something by S.A. Cosby. I've heard a lot of positive, amazing things about his writing style, about his stories. I need to read him for myself. So I look forward to prioritizing this particular book. Next book that we have is The Missing Half by Ashley Flowers, who is one of the host of a podcast that I've been subscribed to and listening to for years, Crime Junkie. This is her second book. It is called The Missing Half. I did start reading this at the beginning of the year when it came out, but I was just, my head and heart was just in a different place and I really wasn't in the mindset for it. But I would love to come back to it and finish reading this before the end of the year, just because I love Ashley Flowers. I really enjoyed her first novel. I really love listening to the podcast. She's a phenomenal storyteller and I look forward to actually coming back to The Missing Half and reading it, getting the plot twist. Next, I have My Sister, the Serial Killer. When I was checking this out at Barnes and Noble, no, not Barnes and Noble, I went to Murder by the Book in Houston, and the individual that was checking me out said that this was really highly recommended. It's a customer and fan favorite. I've also heard phenomenal things about it, and for whatever reason just have never gotten around to reading it. I've owned it on my Kindle for years at this point, so I look forward to actually getting to read the physical copy. I look forward to the craziness, I look forward to the laughs, I look forward to everything that comes with it. Kind of keeping in the darkness as a theme, but we're shifting to dark romance, and I have Haunting Adelaide, and I've been wanting to read this book all year, y'all. All year. I think I've even put it on maybe 1 or 2 of my TBR videos and just never got around to it, haven't prioritized it. But I want to read it before the end of the year. I'm very new to dark romance. I'm not really familiar with the dark romances. I've read a few, but it's not really my bread and butter. So I look forward to stepping outside of my comfort zone. I do know that this book gets a lot of mixed reviews because of the stalker perspective, but I don't mind that. Like, I don't mind fictional stalking. Okay, non-fiction stalking I have a problem with, but fictional, I'm cool. So I look forward to seeing a book that has so much contention surrounding it. But overall, I've heard really amazing things about it, so I look forward to reading it. This writing is a little small and this book is a little thick, 605 pages. So I mean, I hope it's worth sitting through, because that is a break of a book. So I have Keeping 13. I read Binding 13, gave it 5 stars. I really loved it. These books are not challenging to get through. They are really readable, in my opinion. They're easily digestible. I think that the topics that are addressed in at least the first 2 books that I've come across thus far is difficult to read and to get through, but I think I also knew that kind of going into it, so I was able to brace for impact. But if you're going into this completely blind, all I'm going to say is prepare yourself, because they are heavy reads. I will say that for sure. I have had to take my time and really read and digest and appreciate the storytelling of Chloe Walsh, because she did that. And I don't know where she pulled this from the depths of her imagination, but I really enjoy Binding 13, and I look forward to continuing to read Johnny and Shannon's story in Keeping 13. This next book, y'all, between it and Water Moon, like I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, but I put Welcome to the Hainam Dong Bookshop. I don't know, y'all. I can't bring myself to get rid of it. I haven't prioritized reading it, but I would love to read this before the end of the year. There's nothing that particularly that has prevented me from reading it, except I just haven't read it. So I look forward to actually reading this, and this is about different individuals who go to this bookshop and they learn how to live, I guess. And so you have these different characters that are coming to this bookshop for different reasons, and I guess we get to explore their stories. I'm kind of going into it blind. I don't really know too much about it, but I have seen a lot of really good reviews about it, and it piqued my curiosity, which is why I bought it. But it's not enough to buy it. I gotta read these books, y'all. It's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. So I would love to read this before the end of the year. Next book that I would love to read, I'm actually going to tandem read while watching the movie, The Best Man Holiday, and going back and rewatching the series because chef's kiss, and that is The Best Man Unfinished Business. And this is telling and following the story of Harper, Jordan, and Robin. If you've seen The Best Man, any movie or part of the series, then you know the history, the complicated history behind this trio here in this book. So I'm looking forward to seeing how their story continues in life beyond the camera, per se, and I look forward to actually reading this. Moving right along, I have a book that I have actually owned for years, and I have no idea where the other copy of it is. It's probably in my storage, and if I find it or when I find it, I will definitely be unhauling it. And that is Apples Never Fall by Leanne Moriarty. For whatever reason, I have been obsessed with this book since it came out. I remember buying it when it first came out because I just had to be on it. I had to read it. This definitely gives me fall vibes. I don't know what it is, but it gives fall, okay, period. And it says it's a gripping novel that looks at marriage, siblings, and how the people we love the most can hurt us the deepest. And that is absolutely true. People that you don't really care about, their opinions don't mean much to you. It's really hard to, unless you're just a super sensitive person, to penetrate your emotions. But it's the people that's closest to you that can tend to do the most damage, whether they mean to or not. And like I said, this has just been on my radar for a year since it came out, and I really want to read it. So I am hopefully going to make this enough of a priority that I actually get to it this year. This next book is actually the start to a series that I've also been wanting to read all year, and they just had the latest release, the 4th book, which is the novella, I think. That is Belladonna of the Belladonna series, and this is likened to a gothic fantasy romance or gothic romantasy. I've heard really great things about it. I don't think I've heard a single negative comment about the Belladonna series, not that I can recall or remember. And the cover, first of all, they're all so beautiful. And then last but not least, this is actually a book that is, hold please, this is a book that is actually going to be coming out as a movie in December, and so I'm going to try to binge read the series before the movie comes out. I believe it comes out right before Christmas. So that is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I have several friends that have recommended this book personally to me to read, and they had amazing things to say about it. I've read a few of Frida McFadden's books thus far. I read The Teacher, I read The Boyfriend, and but I do believe, and I agree with a lot of the mixed reviews that Frida McFadden gets, but I think one thing that we can all come to the consensus of is that her books are really easy to read and really easy to get through, and I can see why they could help a lot of readers get out of a reading slump. So I'm kind of getting into a slump myself. I only read 2 books in October. I mean, technically I was reading 4. I attempted to read more than 2, but I actually physically finished 2 books in October. And my average this year has been 5 to 7 books per month. So I don't really know what's going on, but it's definitely getting real slumpy around here. So I look forward to reading this. I am going to try to hold off on it until December. But if it tickles my fancy and I want to get to it before then I absolutely will. Well, those are my 10 books that I would like to read before the end of 2025. I would love for you to tell me in the comments below what books you would like to prioritize reading before the end of the year. I mean, there is so many more that I could have mentioned and talked about all of these fantasy books, I like really wanna, I need to get back into my fantasy mood. So maybe in the wintertime it will strike. I've definitely been reading Akatar series. I only have A Court of Silver Flames to finish reading, or to actually read in that series, besides the new book that is gonna be coming out I think next year. And yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out. So if you stuck around this far, thank you so much. I would truly appreciate likes, comments, shares. It helps out my channels, help me reach some subscriber goals that we are working towards. And with that being said, I will see you next time. Bye.